some recent research that shows that you have a low-calorie day, it might actually increase your metabolism for a day or two. Okay? Some bodybuilders are kind of into that, high-low days, whatever. But for most of us, it's more about, okay, we need to know what's an appropriate amount of calories for me to be taking in. I want to make sure that I'm eating above my resting metabolic rate. You don't want to be on a too low-calorie diet. So, we have to figure out how many calories we're supposed to be eating. So this is the cheap and easy way to do it. So you take your weight in pounds times your activity level. Okay, are you sedentary, active, or very active? I don't know how to define those things. I don't know. I don't know if you're active. What's active? I work out 3 days a week. I work out 5 days a week. What's very active? I don't know. So it's kind of subjective. That's why it's cheap and easy. All right. So I do that one. I'm supposed to be eating 2,220 calories. Another way to kind of figure out how many calories you should be eating, this is just the math that's done when you go into a website and ask it how much calories should I be eating. It's a little bit more work. Not so much work when you plug it into Google and ask, but that's what they're doing. That's what's going on behind the scenes. So I do both those methods. I come up with 2,200 calories or 1,400 calories. Big differences. So we can actually do a test that's the gold standard in which we will actually measure your true resting metabolic rate. What's your comatose metabolic rate? How many calories do you burn just living there? Remember, that's 60 to 70% of your total calories for the day. So if I can get a really good measure of that, and if I have to estimate how many calories you burn living your life, okay. And then guess what? If you're working out, I can actually measure exactly how many calories you burn when you're working out too. So now we're estimating a lot less than we're doing with some of those other formulas. It's a lot more clear. And the most important number, that RMR number, is a true measure. So this is an assessment that we do here. For some of you, we may be able to even bill it to your insurance. Okay? It's called, you always see these around the office, the metabolic testing. So grab one of those, that'll kind of explain it. It's the resting metabolic rate. So cheap and easy, a little bit of work, get you in the ballpark. This is a little bit more accurate. Find out what's that resting metabolic number. I shouldn't be eating below that. Once we have that number, we'll add in the fact that you're alive. We'll add in the fact that you're exercising, and I'm going to say, okay, you should be eating 1,400 calories or whatever it is. So if you may look at me and go, but I only eat 900 right now. Okay, we'll work on it. But where those calories come from, just because I tell you you should be eating 1,400 calories doesn't mean you can eat 1,400 calories worth of Twizzlers. Okay? So who's done Weight Watchers? So they'll let you eat 32 points of carbs, they don't care. But you're smarter than that now because you came to my seminar. So, and I'm not knocking Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is great for learning portion control. It's good for accountability. There's lots of great things. I call it a level 100 class. It's a great place to start. But then you get to a point where, okay, we need a little bit more information. So I want to know, okay, where are your calories, where are your points coming from? I want about 50% coming from carbs, anywhere from 20 to 30% coming from fat, and maybe 20 to 30% from protein. So, and that can get more specific. Those are just real general recommendations. But just know that if you're eating under 20% of your calories from fat, which a lot of my clients can do, because how many things are fat-free now that come in a package, by the way, and the next thing you know, you're not getting any fat. No wonder you're hungry. No wonder you're overdoing it on the carbs. You're not getting any fat. You're eating all low-fat food. No fat food. You got to fill up with that protein. So these are a couple websites and or apps, if you have a smartphone, that are great for tracking where your calories are coming from. MyFitnessPal.com is a website, plus it's an app on your phone. Daily Burn and Daily Burn Tracker, same thing. It's a website, plus an app on your phone. FitDay is my old school go-to. I've always used FitDay for as long as I've been a trainer. It does have an app on your phone, but it's not nearly as good as the other two. So, and there's things I like about both of those, and there's things I don't like about both of them. So, but those are probably some of the top calorie tracker programs out there. One of them or both of them, if you are eating something that has a label, you can scan it and it will just put it right in there. So it's kind of easy, but why are you eating something with the labels? We'll get to that. All right, so where you get these calories are important. All right, so now let's get on to drinking. You were talking about drinking earlier. So, drinking water. We'll talk about drinking water first. If you are dehydrated, it slows down the fat burning process. In order for your body to use fat as a fuel, water needs to be there. It's part of the chemical process. It's really hard to do that chemical process of burning fat if there's not enough water there. Being hydrated helps get the toxins out, which means your body's going to function better. Okay, you're going to slow down that aging process. Yeah, she's reaching for her water. I know, I'm just talking about it. Makes you thirsty, isn't it? Wow. Being dehydrated reduces your blood volume. If you have a reduction in your blood volume, guess what? It's harder for oxygen to get to your brain. You're going to be tired. Now you're definitely not going to work out. Might not even cook. Might reach for that packaged food. It's just this big, endless cycle. Being hydrated also helps you maintain muscle tone. Okay? I can always tell when I do somebody's body fat percentage if they are dehydrated. It's really hard for me to get a good body fat percentage reading. All right, so that's drinking water. Now the other drinking. Drinking alcohol. Oh boy. Okay, so alcohol. It really does increase your appetite. And I've seen this. Go out to dinner with a group of people. Some of them drinking, some of them not. Guess who keeps reaching for the chips or the bread or whatever? Always the people drinking, their inhibitions lowered, they don't care anymore, less willpower, and guess what? The alcohol is increasing their appetite. And this has been repeated many times. Classic study is a bunch of men. They had some men at this table, some men at this table. This one's drinking alcohol. These are not. These guys are eating so much more than these guys over here. Okay. So, alcohol increases appetite. Like I said, I think it also decreases your inhibitions. You go in there, well, I'm going to be good at this party. I'm going to be good. I'm going to stay away from the chips. I'm not going to reach for whatever it is that your weakness is. You want to drink alcohol, you don't care anymore. You know? Decreases testosterone. But the big one is it decreases fat burning. Your body's ability to use fat as a fuel by 73% for 24 hours. So, is it really worth it? Is it worth it to have that glass of wine? Or for me, a couple summers ago, I think it was 2 summers ago, our neighbor, he had 2 kegulators. He's trying to lose weight. Wasn't going through as much beer. Carl says, oh, I'll take that other kegulator. Boom, we got this kegulator in our garage. Got a little pony keg in it, whatever it is. Come home, didn't take my little solo cup, you know the one, you know. Yep. And I wouldn't even fill it up. I mean, come on, that beer's right there. It's ice cold, it's 90 degrees out. Oh, yeah. Not a whole beer, just a little bit. And then I did the 7. I'm like, oh, yeah. Forgot, that little beer, even just that little bit. I'm getting chipped. I'm going to bed. Normally, I might burn X amount of fat calories in bed. Now I'm drinking that beer, and guess what? My body stops using fat as a fuel and starts burning off that alcohol or acetate that it's converted to. So I'm laying in bed burning that off instead of fat. That's a chip for just that little beer. So I stopped. I'm like, I gotta stop doing that. Lost 3 pounds. I never felt that I gained it. But as soon as I stopped it, I lost 3 pounds. I'm like, okay, not really worth it. So I tell you this not to say, okay, forget the alcohol, but just know how detrimental that can be to your metabolism. You know, having 1 drink or something every night can be hurting you more than you realize. So
if you dance.
That'd be a good study.
Because your inhibitions are down.
Your inhibitions are down, so you're dancing, dance party. All right, so this one you guys have probably heard all the time, how important breakfast is for increasing your metabolism. And I hear it all the time. I eat breakfast, I'm more hungry. Good. That means means your body's going. Metabolism is up. Also could mean you're having the wrong thing for breakfast, but so think of your metabolism like a campfire. You're out camping. It's fun. End of the night, you kind of go to bed. The campfire's kind of settling down. It's safe to leave. You wake up the next morning. There's still just like some hot little ashes in there. Probably not even that hot. But you want to get that fire going again. So start giving it a little loving. Maybe you add a little fuel to the fire. Maybe you add some more twigs, maybe some more newspaper. You get that fire going again. And that's exactly what you have to do with your metabolism when you get up in the morning. You gotta get that fuel going. You gotta get that burning. So you gotta give it a little loving. Don't have like big old, huge omelet, not the huge thing, but just a little thing, just to kind of get it going, get the metabolism going, and guess what? A couple hours later, yeah, you might be hungry again. Feed the fire again. Keep it going. And what happens is some people, when they won't have their breakfast, they won't really have a good lunch, and then they get to nighttime, and now we've got these little embers that haven't had any loving, and you go and have a big old dinner. And it's just going to sit there on that fire. You're not going to be able to burn it up. There's nothing there. You got to keep that engine fueled. Okay? So we can start this off right by eating breakfast in the morning. Okay? So it can increase your metabolism by 5%. So for me, that's almost 100 calories a day. So I'm going to burn more calories just by having that breakfast. Now, at the end of the week, that's 700 calories. But in a month, that's half a pound. So it's all those little things really start to add up. Okay? So you gotta eat your breakfast. Eat your water, eat your breakfast. Now another one that eating clean, where your calories coming from, helping your metabolism, is eating food that comes from the earth, natural food. Our body was not designed to figure out this. Alright, what is this? That's why we say packaged and canned must be banned. Okay? Now, thankfully none of you saw me yesterday when I was at Meijer. I'm not saying I don't ever buy any. Well, no, I don't. Well, I bought bagels, but I'm not saying I don't ever eat that stuff. But be aware of it. If most of your diet's coming from packaged and canned stuff, that's not naturally occurring. Our body doesn't know what to do with that. Okay? So we want to get our fuel, get our food from natural sources, preferably happy cows, happy chickens, happy fish. Meaning chickens that could actually stand up and walk around. Okay? Fish that were able to swim right into the net. Okay? And happy cows, look at that, he's so happy. Walking around. I know, until he ends up going clean, but until I go pick him out at the farm. But so what we're going to get from these happy cows, chickens, and fish is they're going to have more of the good fat, which is going to help keep muscle on you. It's going to help decrease your inflammation. You're going to have more good omegas coming from those healthy, lean protein sources. Okay. And I understand in our society it's impossible not to ever get things out of a package or a can, but let's just try to eliminate or decrease some of that packaged food and choose our lean protein sources from happy places, okay, naturally occurring. Okay. Makes a huge difference, huge difference. All right, so a couple common food boosters that you may have heard, things that help improve your metabolism. Number one, caffeine. So does it really help? Does caffeine really boost your metabolism? It does. It really does. Not by that much. And studies show that you will become accustomed to it, just like you feel like you become accustomed to it. Like, oh, I don't feel the same effects from that Monster Red Bull that I did a year ago, or whatever it is. Yes, you will become a little accustomed to it. The other thing with caffeine is if you're getting your caffeine in your morning cup of coffee, is your cup of coffee like that? Or is your cup of coffee more like my cup of coffee? And what else are you putting in that cup of coffee? Sugar? Creamer? Flavor? Baileys? I don't know. So those things will probably diminish the positive effects you're going to get from the caffeine. Okay? So now green tea has caffeine in it and other good antioxidants that can help boost metabolism, help keep insulin levels where they're supposed to be. It's probably a little bit better source of caffeine if you're looking to boost your metabolism. Good anti-inflammatory properties to that as well. So I didn't know this, but I recently learned that a lot of those Hollywood types will eat a lot of peppers and spicy food to help improve their metabolism before they have a photo shoot or something. So research shows that it might improve your metabolism a little bit, slightly. There's a little truth to it. They found that it also helps you feel full. You won't eat as much. Again, you may become accustomed to the effect of it, or you may become accustomed to the heatness of it and find yourself eating more. And of course, it could cause stomach irritation. Like eating too much spicy food can cause a lot of irritation for people. So, protein is a great one for improving metabolism. 20 to 25 grams of protein, just a pretty general recommendation on every meal. Protein is going to help you feel full. It's going to save your body from burning fat as a fuel source. Or it's going to encourage your body to burn fat as a fuel source. It's going to stop your body from storing it. And again, it helps you feel full. Those protein sources. Let's see if there was something else I want to say about that. There was one more thing about that protein. I feel like there's one more great thing for us. Oh, it just helps you feel full, so therefore you're eating less carbs. Because you're full. All right. All right, we got to talk about menopause. So how many women are like, oh, menopause, it really hurts your metabolism. Really? Last couple of years. All right, so sorry to say there's absolutely no scientific evidence that menopause in and of itself causes weight gain. But I will tell you what is going on. It's Bermuda Triangle. It's just starts this whole cycle. So what happens is your estrogen levels in your body start to decrease. Guess what happens when that happens? Same thing that happens as you're going through your monthly cycle. You start craving sugar and fat. So estrogen levels are going down, start craving more sugar and fat, and you're probably a little bit less active. Okay? You're not as busy with the kids anymore. You're not picking up, you're not doing as much laundry, your lifestyle is just starting to slow down. So then what happens is your body goes, ooh, I want some estrogen. So your body knows, your body's smart. You said your fat cells are smart? Guess what? They are. Because you know what they know? They know that if they store more fat, that it can combine that with another hormone and make estrogen. So that's what your body's trying to do, is you feel like you're storing more and more fat. So your body's trying to outsmart itself. Okay? So that's what's going on. But here's the good news. Even though your body's fighting you, it wants to store that fat, it wants more estrogen. The good news is, in this study with women from 18 years old to 69 years old, and this was a large study. I didn't write how many people it was, but I was like, yeah, that's a good one. Some of these women, half of these women were sedentary, half of these women were athletic, all age groups. So what they did is they did their body fat percentage. The difference between those with a higher and a lower body fat percentage had nothing to do with age and all to do with whether they were sedentary or athletic. So it didn't matter their age. Remember I told you earlier you can still gain muscle into your 80s. The study was showing that same thing. Okay, those athletic women that were working out and exercising, lifting weights or whatever it was that they did, they had the same body fat averages as these younger athletic women. Okay? So even though your body's fighting you, you can't use that as an excuse. You gotta get back there and fight. Okay? Alright, so your main takeaways that I want you to walk away from here and know. Gotta eat breakfast. You can fight the aging process. You gotta laugh. You gotta work out. You gotta avoid alcohol. Yes, you came into this world with some genetics and they may not have been the best ones, but it's not a death sentence. It's only 60 to 70 or 60% of it. And you gotta lift weights. All of those kind of come back to you gotta lift weights. Gotta keep that lean muscle mass. Remember, a pound of muscle burns 6 calories a day. A pound of fat only burns 2. So you gotta do whatever you can. Eat that protein, happy, healthy protein. Give your body a reason to hold on to it by doing the weight training. And you're fighting back. What questions do you guys have for me? Did you learn something? I saw you guys taking notes, that's good. You have to go spread the word. Because I can't tell everybody. You know, and I still go to parties and go out to dinner with people and I hear all these myths and I'm like, oh, my job is never done. So you gotta help me. Right? Yeah.
Okay, when you get up in the morning, I have to have my coffee before I eat.
Okay.
Like an hour, is that 2 hours? Is that too long to have?
I wouldn't go more
wait to
than-
have breakfast?
I wouldn't go more than an hour. You're missing out on that whole hour where your metabolism could be.
I'm never hungry though. I mean, shouldn't I feel hungry if I'm hungry?
You should. When I wake up, there's not too many days that I sleep in. But I'm one of these people that even if I had an opportunity to sleep in, I probably wouldn't because I wake up hungry. I'm not hitting the snooze alarm, I'm hungry. It's not like that every morning, you know, but my body was busy when I was sleeping, healing, repairing damage from the day before because it was only an active day, you know, and my body's looking, okay, ready to go.
Maybe because I'm not active enough?
Maybe, but you're working on it, so. You know, I would not go more than an hour without having breakfast.
I know, it's bad.
And I don't, to be honest, I don't know if that's something that, I must have learned that somewhere. I don't remember, yeah, I don't remember the science behind it.
Was your mom?
It could have been my mom. Any other questions?
It seems to me if I exercise, the only time I really have, I hate to get up any earlier than I am, is in the evening, and then if I do that, I can't sleep.
How much time are you leaving to after your workout to bedtime?
Usually a few hours.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. I'd say suck it up eventually, then you'll get tired and fall asleep.
Probably.
Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to shift into this different like circadian rhythm where you're ready to go to sleep. You're going to be fired up for a little bit, but if that becomes kind of your regular routine, your body will start to get used to it. So, because you're leaving enough time. You know, if it's an hour, yeah, sometimes that's tough. But you're leaving enough time for your
No
body.
excuses for not
Yeah.
exercising.
No, sorry.
Okay, get back on the schedule.
Sometimes I'm a little Dr. Phil, I just tell you how it is.
That's all right, I'm control.
What else?
Well, instead, if you don't want to do the hour or two at night, they say even if you do it in 10-minute increments.
Yes, that's true.
You don't have to, we've learned that we have to do it an hour of exercise all at one time, but you don't if we don't have time. And where do we have time today?
Right, we're seeing a lot more research coming out supporting that short bursts, short intense bursts.
But you have to make an appointment like me with myself. I have to make an appointment to get up 10 minutes earlier to just go jump on a trampoline or something, and I can't do that for 10 minutes, so.
That's good, that's intense, that's short and intense exercise.
But
You're
to
huffing
me,
and
that
puffing.
trampoline gets everything jingling, up and down my body.
Sorry, I can picture myself doing
Yeah, well, I live alone, so I don't have to worry.
So I have a bad knee and a bad foot. So I have been sedentary for 4 years, pretty much. That's obviously probably slowed down my metabolism
Sure.
a lot.
Yep.
Would doing like arm bike or anything like that, what else can I do
Absolutely.
that I can't,
Go
because
do
I
it.
can't walk
Get in the
or
pool.
run or?
Get in the pool, learn how to swim, aqua aerobics. I teach aqua aerobics, and you can do so much more in the water with your bad foot and bad knee. Is it knee or hip?
My knee.
But
It hurt to kick. I was up north in the lake and trying to swim and kicking
Mhm.
I'm afraid I'm burning my knee more, so.
So we need to talk a little bit more specific about your situation. I got a lot more questions. We'll go from there. What else? Main muscles to work when you're doing strength training: chest, back, and legs.
What about the butt?
That's one of your legs.
Okay.
Unless it's another country.
Then you can throw in some
Definitely.
shoulders.
It's another level. It's not another level altogether.
Well, that's part of your warm up in the core. Like I always have, like when my clients come in, they do a warm up, a flexibility thing, and then a core warm up, which warms up the whole body, which includes the abdominals. Yeah, but like main like using machines or your own body weight. We're talking about typical chest, back, and legs. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming, ladies. I hope you learned some things. If you have any questions, you can grab, let's see, here we go. Thank you. Yep, the metabolism. This talks about that RMR test. And the other one just talks about personal training and some of the stuff that I do here. So you can grab those, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.